everyone, I'm Meredith and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I am so grateful that you found me, and if you're returning, I am so excited that you've decided to come back and watch more. I love all things luxury. I love luxury handbags, shoes, vlogging and lifestyle, and if they're things that appeal to you, I hope you'll hit that subscribe button down below and join us here. Today I'm doing part 2 of my question and answer that I put up on Instagram and on YouTube, and lots of you had questions. The first part went for about half hour, I think, and I'm about halfway through, so this is part 2 I'm continuing on with, and I'm amazed that you guys care to know anything about me, but super humbled. So let's keep going. From my collection, which 3 bags would I keep if I could only keep 3? I would keep my Pochette Métis in, so my Louis Vuitton Pochette Métis in the monogram canvas, absolutely, because I use it every day. I would keep my rose gold mini Chanel because it really is a neutral, and I think if it was only one of 3, I'd probably use it a lot more than I do now, and I think it would go with a lot of stuff, so I'd keep that one. And I would keep my special order Birkin because it means a lot to me that I have it. It was my dream bag and I now have it, so I would desperately want to keep that one. How did I start collecting handbags and why? So I talked in my last video about, as a collector, I can't articulate what it is about handbags that draw me in. So I don't know why I collect handbags, but I do, and I'm emotionally attached to them. So I do collect, like really collect. How did I start collecting handbags? So I remember I started with an Oroton obsession. So I discovered Oroton somewhere along the way. I honestly don't remember, but I remember like having an Oroton handbag and then having 2 Oroton handbags and having like 3 Oroton handbags, and I was really into Oroton handbags because that's what I could afford. And Oroton's a great Australian brand and they make beautiful handbags, but that's where my obsession started. And it was a time when everything was still in print, so I would buy fashion magazines and you'd see Paris Hilton toting the latest Louis Vuitton bag, and you'd see celebrities with them, and I started to realize that there were brands higher up the food chain than Oroton, and I started to covet them and watch them and obsess over them, and then getting the courage up to go into store was a whole thing, and then to buy something was even bigger. But once I'd done that once and I started to get that emotional attachment to that, I eventually got rid of all my Oroton handbags. I don't have any of them anymore, and I had quite an extensive collection of those. Nowhere near the collection I've got now, but we're talking about 20 Oroton handbags. Like I had heaps, but I got rid of them all when I started to collect luxury handbags. So yeah, that's kind of where it kicked off for me that I remember, but I can't give you a pivotal moment that I went, oh my goodness, handbags. It just kind of evolved on its own. First bag and what year I got it. So my first bag, and I had bought SLGs, but my first bag was a Louis Vuitton Speedy 25, and I got that in 2003, and I still have that bag. Favorite bags in my collection. My favorites. It's like picking your favorite children. Most used is much easier because that's an absolute, but yeah, favorites. My Birkin 35 special order. It's me in a bag because I got to create it, so it's certainly one of my favorites. Other favorites. My Chrysler bag. I really love my Chrysler bag. I bought that for my 40th birthday to take out to dinner, and yeah, I love my Chrysler bag from Louis Vuitton. It's art. It is absolutely art. My duck. My duck from Louis Vuitton. I really love my duck. It has no purpose, it serves no usefulness, but I really love my duck. So definitely my duck would be on my list. My pink striped Fendi first. I love that bag. It's beautiful. It came out with the spring summer and it's what drew me into that collection, and I now own a lot of that collection. So yeah, my stripy pink Fendi first would definitely be on that list of favorites. And what else? Probably my pink wicker Lady Dior bag in the medium size, because my children gave it to me for my birthday, and I now have a wicker problem from Dior. So yeah, they're probably my favorite bags, but I feel like that list can chop and change, like day to day even. Like I might look at something, oh yeah, you're my favorite. It's really hard to narrow it down to 5. And it really, for me, it's hard to choose my favorites, because it is like choosing my children. My collection came before my children. So yeah, that's a tough question for me. Do I use a different bag every day? No. I use my Bichette Métis every single day for work, and then I change out of that if I'm going out somewhere special, that's not work, or if I'm going out on the weekends, I'll change out of that. The outfit calls for it, but generally speaking, I stick with the same bag, which makes it ridiculous. I have such a big collection. I understand that, but once again, I'm a collector. I'm not. I really wish I could articulate better what being a collector really means if you drill down into my psyche, but that's a scary place and we don't want to go there. But yeah, I know I have them and I do use them, but I certainly don't switch out every day. How do I run a successful business and be a mum and wife? I would say that I probably don't do all of those things well at the same time. And I need to cut myself slack on that a lot of the time. I also recognize it takes a village to raise children, and I have a fabulous village who go out of their way to help me and help me take care of the kids. My partner is incredibly supportive and helps and does lots of stuff around the house. I don't think it's possible, in my opinion, I don't think it's possible to be all things to all people at all times and to do it well. I think you have to triage your life some of the time when you've got so many things on your plate. So there are times when I am not a great mother because I have so much going on at work and I have to give that my attention. I just have to. So it's not to say I'm not an attentive mother, I'm not there, but I recognize that I might not be the world's best mother at that moment, or the mother that I want to be to my children at that moment. And by the same token, there are times that my children need me and I need to not be the world's greatest business owner. So, my daughter had an operation a few weeks ago. I was always going to go with her. There was an important meeting on the same day that I needed to remote into, and I took the ability to remote in with me to the hospital, but she came out of the operation and into recovery at the same time that meeting was happening, and I didn't go. I really should have been there, but right then in that moment, it was more important that I was a mother than I was a business owner. So I think you just have to sometimes triage your life. What is the most important thing that needs your attention at that moment? And while most people would say, yes, but your children should always be the most important thing in your world, yes, they are. At an emotional level, they most certainly are. But if I don't have a company, then I can't keep a roof over their heads. So you have to be practical and go, what can I do physically? And where do I need to put my energy now that's going to give me the best outcome for everybody involved? So I think sometimes you've also just got to give yourself some grace. Like, it is what it is. I'm doing the best I can, and people just need to understand that. So yeah, I would love to tell you that I'm successful in all areas of my life at all times, but I'm just not. I'm not perfect. I do the best with the tools that I've got, and luckily I have a fantastic village that helps me do that. What do I collect other than bags? I collect Harry Potter memorabilia. I collect Lego. I collect shoes. Although having said that, I don't feel the same way about my shoes as I feel about my handbags. Like, I'm happy to move them on if I don't love them, and I wear them to death and throw them out. Like, I don't, it's not quite the same emotional attachment to me, but I do collect bags. Shoes. Makeup, I have a definite makeup problem. I love to buy makeup. And yeah, that's about all I collect. If I could only collect one bag style, what would it be? It'd be a crossbody, all day and night, crossbody, because that's the style that I wear the most and that I will get the most use out of. How did my love of luxury start? So I think I talked about this with, starting with Oroton and then moving into Louis Vuitton from there, and then to other brands after that. So I guess you could say I was influenced into it because I was of that Paris Hilton era where she carried the bags and then you wanted the bags, and I suppose I was influenced. But once I was influenced, I went, oh my God, I really do love these. So yeah, the original influencer. What's my favorite fragrance for going to dinner? I really love Louis Vuitton fragrances, and I've got several of them. I love I think it's Dancing Blossom, which was one of their more expensive ones in those special bottles that they brought out. That's a beautiful scent. I love Afternoon Swim. It's clean, it's summer. I love On the Beach. I love California Dreams, which are very similar. They've got this undertone of like mandarin in them, which I really love. So yeah, they're probably some of my favorite fragrances. With such a large collection, do I ever have regrets? Sure. I don't ever regret buying something, but I certainly regret not buying it. And I think that's the lesson. If you love and are obsessed with a bag and you can afford to buy it without sending yourself into debt or causing financial stress for your family, if you have that extra income and you're obsessed and love this bag with everything you've got, and you look at this bag and you're forever looking at photos of it and researching it and watching YouTubes on it, if you have that level of love for a bag, and you don't buy it, you're gonna have regrets. And I only regret the bags I didn't buy. I never regret the ones that I do buy. There is not a single bag in my collection I go, oh, that was stupid, I shouldn't have bought that. Because I bought it because I loved it at the time. Like, because I choose my bags emotionally. What do I feel emotionally connected to? So yeah, I absolutely have regrets, but they're always regrets for what I didn't buy at the time. Do I still have my first bag? Yep, I've still got my very first Speedy. How many bags do I have in total? I ballpark at about 400. I've never done a full count, and to be fair, that count changes so regularly, but I think I ballpark at about 400, I think. What's my favorite jewelry brand? My favorite jewelry brand is jewelry that I have made by a very good jeweler that I work with. So he will take pieces that I have and change them in ways I want them, or he will create pieces, but they are handmade in my vision. So that's my favorite way to do jewelry, is to have someone make it, and it's actually cheaper than buying high-end jewelry from very big houses like Cartier, because it's not got that name attached to it, but it tends to have more emotional attachment for it. to it. My engagement ring is my grandmother's ring, and that means the world to me, and it might not be the biggest setting in the world, but it was my grandmother's and it means a lot. So in terms of brands that I do wear, I have Cartier pieces and they're beautiful. So if I had to choose a luxury brand, I would choose Cartier, but yeah, I prefer choosing things that I can have made or have been made as one-offs rather than mass-produced, I suppose. Not that there's anything wrong with please, there is nothing wrong with mass-produced. There is absolutely Cartier, Van Cleef, they all do beautiful pieces, but if you're asking me specifically, I will choose my jeweler over those things. Do I have sunglasses in my collection? Yes, I do, and I really want a new pair, and I went to 3 different stores today and didn't look at any sunglasses. Sunglasses to me is something that I don't collect as such, but I do like a new pair every now and again. Are there any bags I wouldn't buy? There are lots of bags I don't buy. If I'm not emotionally invested in the bag, if it doesn't speak to me, if I'm not drawn to it, then I'm not going to buy it just because it's there. So yeah, there are always bags that I won't buy, but that's generally because they don't suit my lifestyle. You should always choose something that you love and suits your lifestyle. My ultimate dream bag, and that was from Amelia Rose. My ultimate dream bag. So I've chosen, so when I look at that, I think of things that I can't just go and buy, because if I could just go and buy it, then I'd probably have it. So for me, at the moment, my ultimate dream bag would be a mini Kelly in black box calf. And I desperately want one of those. And I would admit that most of my list of dream bag are Hermes bags, because I can't just go buy them. I've got to wait. And I have a wish list, and like everybody else, I've just got to wait. So yeah, if I could have any bag right now, it would be a mini Kelly in black box calf. My home is on fire. What bags am I saving? I'm not saving my bags. I would save my family, obviously, and then there are documents that I would be more interested in getting out of my house, and photos and things that can't be replaced, my children's artwork. So they're all things that I would save in a fire, and where we live, fire is most certainly prevalent in the summer months, and we've had flooding recently. So these are things I think about quite extensively. Generally with bushfires, you get some warning if you're lucky. So I have had extensive thought on this topic about there are fires nearby. What do I need to pack if I've got to go? And my bags are never on those lists. It's always other things. But I understand, for the sake of the question, you want to know if I had time to save my bags, what bags am I saving? I'm saving my Birkins. I am. I'm saving the pieces that are my favorites. So my Chrysler bag, my duck. And it would all come down to how many I can grab, assuming everyone else and everything else is out of my house that I love and that I need to grab first. If I'm grabbing bags, it comes down to how many I can carry. So like I'd grab an on the go so I can shove other things in it. But yeah, I would probably gravitate towards my Birkins. I'd want to save them, and the special pieces, the really special pieces that I can't replace would be the ones that I'd be looking to grab. Carry-on travel must-haves. So I wasn't sure if you meant this, the person who asked it, if they meant it just in general, what do I take on a plane, or if they were talking about luxury items I take on a plane. I'm going to come at it from luxury because I figure that's why you guys watch my channel. So on the plane, I generally pack like my laptop, and my laptop's in a Louis Vuitton pouch, so that's a must for me. I really love the packing cubes. I think they're super underrated. If you haven't seen their packing cubes, check them out. I love their packing cubes. A Chanel wok is really important to me because I'll generally pack my wok as my wallet into a bigger bag. And then if I'm walking around the airport, then I wear my wok as a wok and still carry my big tote with me, but I've got easy access to my phone and my cash if I need it. Yeah, so they're probably my travel must-haves from a luxury perspective. The bag that got away. So at the moment, it's the Chanel 18 something, I don't know, emerald green mini. No, emerald green jumbo. You know what? That's the one that got away. So I see the emerald green mini pop up every now and again, and I keep an eye on that, and I do want one. But there was once a emerald green jumbo that popped up, and I really love the jumbo size. I think I'd get a lot of use out of it, and I didn't buy it at the time, and that for me was the one that got away. I am still hopeful I will have an emerald green 18 bag one day, but they're just so expensive. Yep. But yeah, that's the bag for me. Like, that's got my eye on that. Like, one day I'm gonna own that. If someone loves luxury but doesn't have a huge income, how do I suggest they save for luxury items, and what proportion of income is sensible to spend? I am so not good with finances. I don't budget. Like, I'm going to be a terrible person to give this kind of advice. I would say, in terms of what to spend, you don't ever go into debt for these things. If you can afford them and you have the money, then, and it's not going to cause any issues with yourself or whoever you live with, then buy it. You're an adult. That's your choice. You buy the bag if you love it. But in terms of what proportion of your income, it depends. Like, how much expendable income do you have left over that you can put towards this? I'm so not comfortable with this question. I don't want to give anyone financial advice. I don't feel I'm qualified to do that. I'm just somebody who loves to collect handbags. Like, I'm not qualified to give financial advice, and I really don't want to put anyone in a situation where they might actually take my advice, God help us all, and then run with that and it doesn't end up well for them. I think you really got to break it down on what works for you and your circumstances and your income and your family, and think about what you're comfortable with. It's all about you. It's not about me and what I think, or anybody else and what they think. It's about you and what you think and what works for your lifestyle. What does bag collector mean to me? Bag collector to me, collector in the true sense of the word, is someone who is emotionally invested and attached to their collection, who knows their bags inside out, who can tell you the story of all of them because they all have their unique story and they all meant something to you when you bought them. Even if it might look from the outside like I choose 5 pieces of a collection and how can I possibly be emotionally attached to each of them? I am. I know those pieces. I chose those pieces because I was drawn to them, and I am honestly excited to have those pieces, and therefore they have memory for me. So that's what being a bag collector is to me. You are excited, you have those memories, and you are emotionally attached to these pieces because you feel like they are yours and you made those choices because you love them. Why did I decide to be a collector? I didn't. It just happened because I had this love of bags. So this was never a choice. This is just something that grew because I had this love. What experience have I enjoyed the most? So I'm gonna take that to mean like in the realm of being a VIP and experiences offered to me. I really loved the reopening of the Dior store in Sydney. I was super flattered to be invited. It was a great event, fabulous food. It was an honor to be invited to that, and I really enjoyed that event. Which house has given me the best customer service from day one? Day one. Fendi? Yeah, Fendi. So I've had the longest relationship with Louis Vuitton, but to walk in cold to a store and be given outstanding customer service from day dot without ever having any pre-spend, and them not knowing me from a bar of soap and me not being a VIP, Fendi. All day and night, Fendi. And last question. We made it, yay! Do I still enjoy and feel excitement while unboxing a bag? With such a collection, isn't it getting a little bit common and less unexpected when you get a bag? No. I am always excited to get a new bag. Always. I love every piece that I buy, every single time. The excitement that you see when I unbox pieces is genuine. Like, I'm not putting that on. I'm not that good of an actor, really. I'm not. I have genuine excitement with every single piece I open because I am emotionally attached to that piece from the second I see it in a picture in a store and I go, that piece. Can't tell you why that piece, but that piece. I want that piece. I love that piece. So I am always excited to get it. I understand that when you're watching me unbox a lot, and I have a lot of unboxings, I understand all of this, that it might feel redundant to you, that I'm not, like, I can't possibly be this joyous about this many bags all the time. I am. I feel genuine joy for my collection and my bags at all times, and I love them. So it's not, it's never redundant to me. It's like I am always excited to get another bag, and I am grateful. I'm not lucky. I am grateful to be in this situation where I can feed this collector tendency that I have. I am able to buy those bags. I am able to continue to grow my collection and still have that experience, and I am grateful that I have that. I work very hard. I work incredibly hard in my job, and nothing has ever been handed to me. I am not a trust fund baby. I don't come from money. My family didn't have money growing up. I am at this point now because I have fabulous support, and I have my mother who owns the business with me, who works incredibly hard also, and all my staff who work incredibly hard. But this was never handed to me. I don't run around with the black Amex because my parents come from money. I work so hard. And because of that, I can now have this collection. If I had less money, I would still have a collection. It would just be a smaller collection. So no, I am always excited for another bag, always. So that's the end of part 2. I'm hopeful that you enjoyed this. Talking about myself for this long is incredibly uncomfortable for me. I have no idea why anyone would be interested in me, but like, I'm incredibly grateful that you are. But yeah, I hope you guys got out of this what you wanted, and that you learnt a little bit about me, and maybe now you feel a little bit more connected to me. That would be my hope. And yeah, thank you for everyone who submitted questions. This was an eye-opening experience for me, and I'll probably do it again in the future. If you have liked today's video, I hope you'll hit that subscribe button down below. I hope you'll come follow me over on Instagram. I put up a lot of content over there, and I'd love to share that with you. It happens more in real time than YouTube does. And yeah, I hope wherever you are in the world today, you're having a fabulous day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.